Libra, you've entered the house of Sigils. Welcome in. Today's reading will be for the sign of Libra. General reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Let's begin. Start by calling in spirit. Part the veil by remaining still. Step beyond myself, leaving the door open. Let's see what's really going on, Libra. The Aeon. The doorway. Doorway to transformation. There's a decision you're trying to make right now, Libra, that is requiring some pretty high-level discrimination. Although that is the case, I feel like you're very open to criticism. But there's a critical self-analysis going on, whether this is a problem you've been struggling with, a relationship. Is it a addiction? Maybe. I'm picking up addiction. Could be a job thing. Could be addiction that is affecting a job or a relationship. But something has, in a sense, fallen out of harmony. I think in looking for that balance that you usually strive to find, Libra, it could very well be that you're stuck in the intellect of it all. But sometimes discernment requires more than the intellect. It requires the body. It requires spirit. It requires a general alignment of at least three of these pillars of health, right? To come to a place where you can make a clear-cut decision on something. I think it's very possible as well that this could be a business decision or something going on with the interfamily relations. So it's asking you to sort of drop your worm's eye view and look at the bigger picture of things. As you're sort of seeing things from a lower plane, it wants you to look at something from a higher perspective. From a perspective of self-awareness, that sort of camera behind your life that can see things. It's asking you to sort of tap into that energy. When this is the case, when you can tap into that, you're able to see greater time spans. You're able to see different scenarios unfold and then judge them accordingly and evaluate them, because you're coming from a place of beingness rather than sort of being stuck in the forest and unable to see the trees. I think that it's very possible that you may be stuck in this idea that you're unhappy, right, or you're unsatisfied. It's actually a point of ignorance to believe that those things can exist. It's all a mental condition, right? Everything lives in this bubble of what your mind will create. It'll create what it wants to. And if we can step outside of that mind-made trance, that mind-made universe, and observe what's really going on, oftentimes we'll find out that we're missing the mark, and we're off. So interesting, very discerning energy. Let's take a look at what you're expressing or showing of yourself outwardly, right? What is your effect on others? How are you sort of influencing your environment? It's interesting. This is the second time this card has come up in the last 20 minutes or so. So I pulled this for myself. The success card, Six of Pentacles. I pulled this for myself as sort of my daily meditation, and this popped up. The Six of Pentacles is asking you to really, so it's the moon in Taurus, it's asking you to really slow down and scrutinize whatever this decision is that you need to make. Whatever this transformation is, whatever this transcendence is, to slow down and understand that even though you might be going through this particularly rough spot, or maybe it's not even a rough spot, maybe it's just a challenging spot. And I can imagine, Libra, you being up for the challenge, up for the challenge of it all. This success represents some of the 6 pillars of wisdom, right? And so we can see within the card is that it's asking you to really be grateful and understand those internal successes that have been transformed for you into external successes, and to share those things if possible. But it's really asking you to be discerning, and we won't go right to the page. Moon in Taurus, external transformation, external manifestation of the inner, and success. So we see the sign of Saturn in the card, which is asking you to go carefully, step by step, examine every angle very carefully. If you are beginning something new, or if you are trying to make a decision, everything takes time. You have to let every piece of your enterprise come to fruition in the time that it needs. But then there's Jupiter in the card saying, this is too boring, I don't want to go step by step, right? And that Jupiter's asking you to be flexible for the changes that might be coming for you. Venus then in the six of Pentacles is pointing out emotional energy. You have to be open up to the deeper dimensions of whatever it is emotionally that needs to come out to allow for the success to happen. The moon brings something from the inner depths as well, some insights into that. Mercury, it's going to require some quite effective communication for you to enter into this new endeavor. Right? And then Mars, vitality and having goals and being directed in that. And so, quite fitting. Actually, even the colors are quite similar. So this enterprise or this decision that you're making, or this dragon that you're overcoming, right? It's going to require all these things to move forward and to step through. And let's look at what you're now receptive and open to. So which people, energies, and events are you currently attracting? The High Priestess, card of intuition, another card of inner depths. Right? This card's all about the moon. One of my favorite cards as well. Pops up a lot for me in readings. So this is indicating that you are open and should and remain open during this time of transition, during this time of transformation. Staying open to the process, open to intuitive powers, open to healing, independence, equilibrium, an increase in self-confidence. It's very, all three of these cards are very, very balanced out in the Libra fashion, right? In the Libra energy. It's the moon in Isis, sort of surrounded by a network of light rays, right? Actually, one of the strongest cards in the deck for balance and equilibrium, the High Priestess. So, very good portent there by pulling the High Priestess into what you are attracting, what you're receptive to. People, places, and events that you're open and attracting. She can also indicate some extrasensory abilities or some intuitive abilities that are sort of coming to the surface at this time. And if they're not, they probably will be in the very near future. Because she's giving you and granting you access to them. And I think we always do have access to them, or we have permission to access them. It's just that we haven't developed that ability to do so quite yet. But at the same time, it's going to be quite important for you to guard your independence as you move through this endeavor, as you moving forward. And then a question then with the High Priestess, are there others in your life that you allow to influence you? At the very first of the reading, I kind of picked up this idea of addiction. And so if you are someone struggling with addiction, you can end up in these places where others are influencing you, right? You gotta change your people, places, and playthings, is what I've heard, right? And so, and it doesn't mean that's what's happening, but if this message is for somebody, you absolutely have the support and the courage and the internal strength to move through this. And you do have support from the universe and the High Priestess. I feel like this might end up being one of your most favored and important cards. So let's look at the key. Let's see how we can maybe effectively overcome the problem, or at the very least it would suggest a way around or out of whatever it is that you're facing. Prudence. The sun in Virgo. The Eight of Pentacles. So it's a card of balance, a card of growth. Very interesting how things are balanced in this card as well for you, Libra. Let's take a... So, Sun in Virgo, overflowing internal, external richness, wisdom, development, confidence, and prudence. So, when this finally does start to flower and bloom for you, whatever it is, whether it's a decision you're making, or you're becoming clean, right? Or whatever it happens to be for you in this moment with this eight of discs, things are just beginning to bloom, right? I mean, it looks like it's big in the card, but it's in the grand scheme of things, one tiny sprout, right? But remember, at the beginning of any undertaking, right, if something is just beginning to bloom, you're stepping through that doorway knowing that you have all these successes in your past and can be successful in the future, using your intuition to guide you, that the card includes a bit of a warning to make sure that you have the things that you need before making that fresh start. Right? To be sure you have the support that you need before you step through that door. Otherwise, you run the risk of running back through the same cycle. So whether this is addiction and you are trying to conquer something, make sure that you find the correct people that you need. Make sure you plug yourself into help. Ask for help. Get the help that you need. Make sure the abundance exists for this to bring you back into the light. And if this is a decision or a business endeavor, so the two themes I was picking up on, it is going to require the things that it needs to move into fruition, right? Make sure the health and the finances are in abundance so that it can produce fruit. Give it protection. You can see that each little flower has a little roof over it in the form of a leaf. Give yourself and give this endeavor an idea, or this clearing of negative energy, the protection that it needs so that it can move forward. Because everything sort of unfolds in its proper time, but it's going to need all of the nutrients that a new plant requires. Plenty of sun, plenty of air, plenty of water for it to grow. And then really asking yourself, are you giving yourself that nourishment that you need? Right? Are you giving yourself the things that you need? Whether that's mental clarity, time alone, whether it's emotional clarity, whether it's you just need a good cry, whether you're neglecting your health and your nutrition or your exercise. Give it the time that it needs to unfold. And so let's go ahead and balance the darkness and the light. Cards are already shuffled. Straight out of the deck. And to start with, we have worry, the illusion of control. So it's interesting. Sometimes when the universe wants something to work, it just works, whether or not you believe you have control or not. Worry. Your concerns for the future are blinding you to the wonderment in your life today. In an effort to feel safe in the present, you seek to control the outcomes of the future. Trauma, or a series of hurts, may have caused you to become hypervigilant. When we are young, we seek safety. In a chaotic environment, we look to adults or social groups to learn how to feel safe. Many of us were not taught or encouraged to process unsafe feelings. Thus, they move into the shadow and can become unhealthy coping strategies. You may think you feel safe if you can ensure everyone is okay and everything is done. And that only then will you be worthy enough to create and live your dreams. But there will always be things that are out of your control. Your worries for the future have been trying to keep you safe. They have gotten you here. Thank them for their support, but it is now time to heal and step into the future with confidence. That's a great message, right? Looking into the dark side of things and the worries that might come with this new endeavor that you're beginning, right? Or this idea to come out of the darkness, right? And stepping through the doorway. You have all the tools that you need. It's just a matter of believing that you do, so that you can then bring this idea into fruition and give it the things that it needs to grow. So if you step through, if you ask for the universe's guidance, there is no need for worry or the illusion of control. Let's balance things out with the Secret Language of Light Oracle. And we have soul writing. So this one's interesting. Very much balanced as well. Gorgeous card. An angel in the middle. Soul writing. You are the author of your story. Write one that inspires you and doesn't let anyone else command the pen. Physical reality is temporary. It is forever changing, from one moment to the next. The events and experiences of your life are multidimensional, living art. Their purpose and form will shift as your perception of them does as well. You can view and adjust any stories from your past, present, or future. Let go of justifying or analyzing the events that become your stories, and lift yourself into a new way of seeing them. Look at the card. Imagine you are an angel rising and connecting to the soul light at the top of the pyramid. From the expanded view, you see all your stories and their facets from a neutral position. A higher perspective will unveil and reveal what is previously unknown. You may be surprised, shocked, or embarrassed that the story you have identified with is not what you thought it was. Don't stress. This indicates that the stories are shaking loose and healing is occurring. You are doing well. You are worthy and you are loved. And that's a great message to end the reading, right? It spoke of this awareness that exists outside of your thoughts and feelings and emotions. And that's exactly what we spoke of in the beginning with this sort of awareness of awareness, this camera that's outside of the movie filming it. You're able to step through and see. So Libra, step to the doorway. You have all the tools that you need. Don't worry about it. Let the High Priestess be your guide. Ask her to become the awareness that you need and protect the thing that you are growing. That's all I have for you today, Libra. Please leave a comment if any of this resonates with you. This is a brand new channel. So it does help. Like, share, subscribe, all the little things. And keep your sigil of protection close at hand should the darkness decide to answer your call.